Hey, what's up guys? Gonz here for the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel. There's been quite the buzz on the internet for this crackdown. October 1st, it's coming up. There is a huge melding happening here, a consolidation, and I'm seeing it from all angles. We have the Pope that's going to be in Jerusalem later this month. We'll see what comes out of that. We have October 1st, where the internet essentially gets handed over to the United Nations, more or less, and it's here. The ripple effect has affected the YouTubers for a long time, especially alternative media that's sprung up and truther channels like these that have sprung up. We have experienced the kinds of things that these bigger YouTubers are now experiencing for a while now. It feels like we were kind of a test run, run it by the small guys first, see how they respond, see how the platform responds, and then apply it across the board to the major outlets. So that's what we're seeing, I think, in this crackdown. Nothing new. They've been doing this in legislation for a long time, trying to push through this. Corporations like Google, which owns YouTube, has been trying to do this for a long time. They've been hinting at it in the media through guys like Eric Schmidt and other announcements and events that have occurred, some of which I've documented on this YouTube channel. I'll leave links in the description section if you want to check those out. But internet censorship is here in America. It's already happened in other countries, but it's really here in America. We'll see what happens. And I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of the rules and laws and stuff that prevent YouTubers from making certain videos or discouraging them to make certain videos about certain topics, that include violence or, whatever. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is blatant control and blatant hypocrisy, because the major corporations, the big news outlets, they can show certain levels of violence. They can show certain levels of all kinds of stuff, right? The mainstream music industry, sexual innuendos, all that is there in the mainstream corporate world, and they make millions off of it in advertising, right? So when YouTubers get in on some of that money, and trust me, it was a small amount of that money, all of a sudden they're like, well, if you guys are going to have the money, then you got to only talk about what we allow you to talk about. That's basically what's happening here. So how does it affect a YouTuber like me? Well, you guys see the ads on my YouTube channel. Yes, I have this channel monetized. No, I don't make a ridiculous amount of money. Let me just tell you, it doesn't even cover rent, okay? And I have a wife, I have a stepdaughter, I have another on the way, which is a secret that I'm letting out early. But what it means for this channel, we'll have to wait and see. I think I'm going to keep making videos, and they're literally going to have to tear down my channel if they want to shut me down. I'm not doing this to make money, so that's not the central concern. But a lot of it also depends on you guys as the audience, as the people out there. Does this information help you? Does it edify you? Does it feed you spiritually as well as intellectually? These are the kinds of questions that I'm pondering, and you guys can voice your opinions in the comment section here, or you can email me at facelikethesun@gmail.com. Ideally, what I would love to do is create facelikethesun.com and make it into basically what I do on the YouTube channel, but just have it on my own platform. And that way, there won't have to be ads. I can just have the videos there, and maybe if you guys want to support me financially, great. I'll have like a donate button or a support button, but otherwise the information will be freely out there. So these are things I'm considering. I think there's a smart way to approach this and not call it, the end of the world or Armageddon. No, it's just a big shift happening, and we have to adapt and do the right thing so that we can continue to spread the truth and share the gospel and, discuss the areas that you're not going to be getting from your Sunday pulpit, which, is something that the internet has really helped with in the church, right? There are topics that the church just doesn't discuss on Sundays. And so my thing has always been, you need to go to church on Sunday, not for any sort of religious reason, but because it allows you to be around other Christians. You get to fellowship, you get to create relationships, and you get to hear, even if it's a shallower message, even if it's milk, you get to take that in, and you need that as well. You can't just live off meat, right? You got to drink some milk too. So that's why I encourage everybody to be in a church and go to church, if you're a believer. So I've always seen a channel like this one as supplements, not so much the hard meat. And sometimes I go there, but there are other teachers and preachers and researchers and authors and stuff that do a lot more heavy lifting than I do regarding some of the topics that we touch on this channel. But I see myself as supplying a little bit of info so that it helps your walk spiritually, intellectually, and at the same time, keep a finger on the world events, what's happening in the mainstream, what they're saying, because, you know, we're sort of set apart. You know, this is really going to cause a divide, I think, with the mainstream co-opting the internet into the UN system and sort of the independents like us. You know, I'm not affiliated with any, you know, institution or anything like that. This is, again, a one-man operation out of a closet. Folks like myself, we're not going to get saved by the corporate raft. You know, the people that they want to secure with the message they want to secure on these platforms, the people that will comply, they will get on the boat. Otherwise, people like us, independents, we have to figure out a way to continue pushing out this information, but be able to sustain ourselves in terms of feeding the family, keeping a roof over our heads, you know, the basic stuff. So all that being said, I just want to ask you as the audience, what do you guys think is the best thing to do for YouTubers like myself and YouTube channels like this one, given the current circumstances we face with YouTube cracking down? Have an awesome day, guys. God bless.